Hello, this is Tim Law with Planet Forward Coaching, catching up with a wonderful lady who's the president of the Chamber of Commerce here in Rehoboth Beach, the always wonderful and friendly Carol Everhart, and great to see you again, Carol. So tell us how things are going here in the Rehoboth Beach area, since the pandemic and everything. So welcome, and tell us a little bit about it.
Well, in the Rehoboth and Dewey area, the whole resort area, we're doing a lot better than we were in 2020. In 2020, everyone took a hit. I don't know a business that didn't have a problem other than if you were selling RVs, if you were putting in swimming pools, if you were doing home improvement type of things, because people were stuck at home. Those service industries did very well during the pandemic. Anything that was outdoors, anything that was at the house. As far as visitation and being a destination for vacations, we took a tremendous hit. So if you had anything other than those businesses, you took a big hit. Did they adapt? Oh yeah. I now have confidence that this business community can adapt and adjust to just about anything that happens. Couldn't have them indoors, so what'd we do? They went outdoors. Guess what happened? They loved it. They loved it. The visitor loved it. The locals loved it. Everybody loved it. So much so that the chamber, along with the municipalities, the township of Dewey, we all worked to secure that could stay. And now we have outdoor dining everywhere. It has to be on your own property, and it has to be ADA compliant and all those types of things. But we are, where we need to be right now as far as visitation. Visitation is very strong. I've been asked, has the local and national economy taken a toll on our visitation? Not ours. Other destinations, I'm hearing different things, but we have over 20 million people within a 2 to 3 hour drive. So it did not impact us. We still have very strong visitation, very strong accommodations overnight. Rentals are through the roof. And during the pandemic, they learned that, hey, I can work virtually here. So why not work near the water? And they did. So they were renting year-round. And that has continued. So we're seeing, we'd already moved from just a seasonal resort to, year-round on the weekends or extended. Now, all appearances are, I think we're at year-round, unless there's a weather issue. They're just here all the time. Lots of new residents in the area, and it was difficult, but it's had its advantages too.
Sure. Well, that's a great thing about people is we even though during some of the most challenging times that the adaptation is certainly a real positive for sure. As far as going forward, Carol, what do you see as far as the Rehoboth Beach area is concerned with, as far as the future is concerned?
Well, I would say one thing that while we have the strong visitation and have not been impacted there, strong visitation means you need a lot of staff and a lot of supply. So just like many other places, two biggest issues is enough staffing and enough supplies. The supply chain is really hurting, and the cost of things has gone up considerably.
Sure.
So that's the remaining challenge, I would say, is how do we adapt to all of that.
Right.
But I do see, Rehoboth, Dewey, Route 1, we are bustling. We're growing. Outside of that area, we have a tremendous growth in year-round housing. So whether they've already moving here or they're building now and going to move here, big retirement community here too. We have a real mix. So what's the retirement community bring? their family.
Sure, sure, absolutely.
So we still have, the kids and the teenagers and young families.
Yeah.
We still have a lot of that.
Sure.
But everything's very positive right now. The things that are touching us are the things that are touching nationwide.
Sure.
There's nothing negative that's touching us that isn't touching everybody
Yeah.
else.
Well, and Carol, what advice would you give, let's say, for a young person, a late teen, 20s or so, that let's say they wanted to, come down here and work? What advice would you give to them?
Well, they don't have to look much further than the marquees, because if you noticed, so many marquees say now hiring all positions. All positions. I jokingly said if I had signs that said now hiring all positions and I could sell them, I would be making a considerable amount of money. I would say they want to look on the Chamber's job board. I would want to say they'd look in the local papers that mostly are online. And they'll see a multitude of jobs. They are in every category you can imagine. From medical, even our correction facilities, restaurants, retail. It's just across the board. Even the chamber, everybody lost employees
Right.
During the pandemic, and we've not recovered from that. And we don't seem to have the applications that we normally would have had.
Right. How about the schools? How are they doing?
Schools always did great. We were one of the few places that the school stayed open. Everybody's back to school. Well, even during the pandemic, they stayed open. So we were very, very fortunate with that.
Yeah.
Our local school boards decided we need to be careful and cautious.
Sure.
And wear masks and those types of things during that. But we're going to stay open.
Yeah.
And they did.
Good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And Carol, any last second thoughts? This has been wonderful as always. I love being able to catch up kind of on an annual basis here and, stay in touch via phone or whatever otherwise. But any last second thoughts you have here?
Well, it's just a wonderful place to visit. It's a wonderful place to work. It's a wonderful place to live. So take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Carol. It's always good catching up, and we'll definitely stay in touch.
Okay.